Good evening, Question the Drink family. I'm back. And tonight, I can't even tell you how excited I am. Not only do I have an incredible human who happens to be a very good friend of mine, but she is an expert in her field. And I cannot wait for you to meet her. So let me go ahead and introduce her. Welcome, Kristen. We have Kristen Garcia with us. I want to tell you, as we're waiting for people to join on, we do have a few people now. As you're coming in, please go ahead and put in the comment that we know that you're here. You know what I'm going to ask. If you see us on replay, hit hashtag replay. Ask any questions that you have tonight. I can see your comments in real time, and it would be helpful for us to know how this is helping you. So please let this be a conversation back and forth. Okay. We're super excited to get started tonight. And let me tell you a little bit about Kristen, so you have a little bit of a background if you didn't catch the bio. She has been working with women with emotional eating and some other type, coaching that we all do. And then she also is certified as an EMT tapping specialist. And I am so excited for us to learn this together. I think if you caught my live earlier today, you know that I am now going to be a client of Kristen's, because I have some things that I want to work on. So, and real quick, I just want to say, I had a conversation with one of my amazing clients last night, and we talked about coaching. It is not a weak thing to reach out and seek a coach. If anything, it empowers you. It makes you rise above. You're leveling up. It's anything but weak or needing assistance. So I want you to know that. Okay. So without further ado, Kristen, I'm so excited that you said yes. We are going to be talking about an incredible topic tonight, and is so needed, and especially for this community. You've been a part of Question the Drink now for about a year. I think it's been almost a year since you've been in the group. So why don't you share a little bit about you and all the things?
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Yeah, Carrie, thanks so much for having me on tonight. I am so excited to, just after being in this group for, like you said, it's been about a year, and just following the work that you're doing and seeing the change that you're impacting in the world. It's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I'm just excited to be here tonight and share a little bit more about what I do. And we're going to jump into a live tapping demo here in a little bit. But yeah, so I am 45 years old. And I worked in corporate America most of my adult life. And about 10 years ago, I had a really severe health transformation, if you will. Up until that point, I've been fairly healthy my whole life. I had 3 children, still do, but they were little then. And I was struggling. All of a sudden, it seemed like overnight, but looking back, it wasn't overnight. I had a lot of anxiety. I had a lot of stress. I was, overworked and underpaid. I was juggling 2 jobs with 3 children under the age of 5. And I was, or under the age of 7, sorry. And I was married, husband, wife. So needless to say, I had a busy schedule. So I started having I couldn't sleep. I started having some issues. And so I went to the doctor, I got some tests ran, and it came back and they said I had rheumatoid arthritis. I had Hashimoto's, which is a thyroid condition. I had depression. And I was several pounds over my ideal weight. And so I just kind of went down into the spiral, and I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? The doctors wanted to get me on a bunch of prescription medicines, and I personally did not want to go down that route. I knew there had to be a better way. So in that moment, I became my own health advocate, and I just started researching. Now, 9 years ago, almost 10 now, when I started doing this research, the term whole foods was not not everybody knew what a whole food was, right? Nowadays, I feel like so many more people, and I do live in California. But I mean, I feel like so many more people understand, like, we need to eat more fruits and vegetables. We need to eat whole foods, right? But back then that was kind of unheard of in the circles that I was in. And so and by the way, I want to add, at that time, I was drinking pretty heavily as well. And I don't even know if I've ever shared that with you, but I think I was drinking about 3 to 4 days a week. I was drinking a bottle of wine a night, right? So things were just not looking good. And so I became my own health advocate, and I just started changing the way I ate. I started, that's where my health journey began. I just started looking for ways to improve my mental state, my spiritual state, You name it. I wanted to try it. I was really open. I was curious. I was childlike. I just wanted to absorb. And so I did. And so I ended up losing 80 pounds in about a year and a half. I healed myself of all of my health issues, meaning I no longer have symptoms of those issues. I never got on any prescription medicines. And to this day, I'll be 46 in October. I have never taken a prescription med. I am thriving in my health. I feel amazing. And I just really wanted to share everything that I've learned with other people. And so kind of the coaching thing kind of fell into that for me. Now, interestingly enough, so I've coached primarily women over the years, women and families, families that were struggling with all kinds of different health issues with the kids. I found that I was really attracted to emotional eaters because I'm an emotional eater. And that was really resonating. That's what we put out is what we get back, right? So emotional eaters, binge eaters, people struggling with weight, and definitely alcohol fell into that, right? Because as an emotional eater, it all kind of comes in there. Not everybody that enjoys alcohol is an emotional eater. Let me just clarify that. But for emotional eaters, alcohol fits right into that. So I was doing really well. I was coaching and really enjoying it. And then I had this really interesting thing happen when COVID hit. And I discovered a lot of things about myself. So here I was rolling around, doing great, rolling along, everything's great. My health is great. My weight was great. I was feeling good. And then COVID hit. And I pretty much had a little breakdown. And I started going back to old patterns of eating. I began emotionally eating again. I started binge eating again. And I ended up gaining some weight. And I found where my attachment was actually money. It was the attachment to money. When I decided that I wasn't going to have money, my brain freaked out. My unconscious mind basically freaked out. And so I went back to all these old habits. So during that time, I was feeling low. I was feeling depressed. This is a little over a year ago. I was feeling like what the heck is going on? I was feeling defeated. I was feeling like a fraud. I was feeling like, how can I coach people? I don't know what I'm doing. It was bad. It was a dark place. But you know what? Whenever there's dark, comes light, right? And so in the darkness, I got introduced to emotional freedom technique or tapping, which I will explain a little bit here in a minute. And it completely transformed my life. Because what I learned was that we have the conscious mind and we have the unconscious mind. And so my conscious mind, right, is saying, I want to do, this and I want to do that. I got all these plans and I got all these wonderful things. But your unconscious mind is there to protect you. Your unconscious mind is formed by the age of 7. And that is before most of us even have conscious thought, right? Most people don't have conscious thoughts until they're around 5. So you have this emotionally immature 4 to 7-year-old, if you will, running around in the background, and its sole purpose is to keep you safe. And it forms these beliefs at such an early age before it's emotionally mature. And so it's running around in the background. And so that's why, if you've ever been in these positions in your life where you're like, I want to do this, and your conscious mind, yes. It's that unconscious, emotionally immature child in the background running around saying, oh, no, Karen, that you did that before. Remember that? That happened when you were a little kid and that didn't work out. So no, you can't do that. You can't put yourself out there. You're never going to be the weight you want to be. You're never going to accomplish the things you want to accomplish because you tried all those things. Remember in kindergarten when those kids made fun of you when you tried to stand up and do something different from the rest of class? Oh, well, no. See, you can't go out there. You can't be different. You can't try something new because that's what's going to happen. And we're here to keep you safe. And what's so crazy about all of this is that you have no idea that it's running the show. It's totally transformative when you kind of figure that out because you're like, oh, because once you see something, you can't unsee it. So once I saw that, I began to understand that I have all these limiting beliefs that my emotionally immature unconscious mind's running around. Then I began to understand I also have these things called traumas. Now, traumas can be all different levels. There's big T and little t traumas. So little t trauma, for example, is what I just described, right? You were in kindergarten, you wore 2 different socks because you were trying to be cool, like Rainbow Bright. I don't know if you guys remember Rainbow Bright. Am I dating myself? And the kids made fun of you. So you learned, oh, being different is not okay, right? Being outside the box is not okay. To big T traumas, big T is sexual trauma, abuse. And most of these, again, these happen in our childhood. And so this unconscious mind is putting up all these walls and protecting. And so the work that I do with the emotional freedom technique, the tapping, the work that I'm certified in is the healing and the clearing work. And what was really interesting is I've been in this space of personal growth and development, like I said, for almost 10 years now, right? I'm like, dude, I'm good. My spiritual life is amazing. I've healed, I've done therapy, I've done hypnotherapy, I've done Reiki, I've done it all, right? I'm good, emotionally and mentally and physically, I've really done all this healing work, spiritually, But what I realized was, even though I had consciously done all of this work, I had not worked on the unconscious mind. And now some people argue with hypnotherapy, you do. And yes, there's a level of that, but this is a whole other level. Because what happens is you have these traumas or these experiences in your life that are still there in the body, in the back of the mind, running the show. And so the work that I do and the work that I discovered was that I needed to release and to heal from these traumas. I needed to release and heal from these experiences so that I could then move on and move into where I really want to be in my life, which is the most exciting part of the work that I do. So once we do the healing and the clearing work, we move into the manifestation and the abundance work. Like, okay, well, now we're working on where you want to go, right? So it's a really exciting, tapping is really new. Now, people in the holistic health space pretty much all know what tapping is, but to the general public, tapping is so new. And I'm so excited to be able to be a part of bringing this to the world, because now I'm actually working with a lot of clients that might come to me with health issues. But I find that people in pretty much every area of their life is just surviving. Now, you might have some areas that you're doing better than others in, but most of us are just barely surviving. And I'm really taking people from surviving to thriving in all those areas of their life. But a lot of them come to me with health. But, I'm working with people right now that really want to take it to another level in their businesses. I'm working with a woman that has a lot of limiting beliefs around money and her ability to create real income and real money for her family. So we're working with some healing and clearing work with these old money limiting beliefs that have been passed down from generation to generation. And so it's just really, really incredible work. So for me personally, as I began to really work on these memories and healing and clearing, I was shocked by how many I had around food, around wine and alcohol. And I'm going to show you guys here in just a minute of what I mean by that. But we have these memories that are attached to foods, believe it or not, and to wine and to alcohol. So I hope that was a long answer to your question, Carrie.
Yeah, no. That was great, because here's the thing. Everybody everybody, not just in this group, everyone, we all have some sort of limiting belief. We all have something that has kept us feeling stuck. We all have things that have been formed as a child. Matter of fact, I spoke to one of my other dear friends that's in this group at 4:00 today. And we were sharing our experiences as a child, and the smallest thing that happened, as I'm entering the school in kindergarten, a few kids said something to me, and that stuck with me. It still to this day haunts me. And I have done a lot of things trying to heal that, and it's still there. So there's things that we know that we can associate. And this is part of the pattern with habits, you guys, is that anytime we naturally reach for a drink, or we want to emotionally eat, or we do something like just snap and react towards something without even really thinking about it, this has all been patterns that are formed. Our brain likes to be very efficient. So we I can't say that word. We take all that information and we store it in the back of our brain. And anytime an experience happens that's similar to that, that memory comes back and says, hey, we've done this before. We know how to do this. But the problem with that is that's what keeps us stuck. That's why they call it limiting belief, because it keeps us playing small. It keeps us feeling that we can't break free of that. So if you're watching this and you're like, wow, some of this sounds a little woo, I'm going to tell you, there's a science behind this. It's proven to work. It is, the receiver needs to be open to it. This is part of it. And when you are open to receiving and you want that desire to change and you want that desire to work through some of this, this is when the work becomes super powerful. So if that's you, stick around. We're going to get ready to do the demonstration. Kristen's going to do that for us. And I'm hoping, my hope for you is that you will have another modality that you know you can turn to. And by the way, anybody who works with me one-on-one has access to any of the guests that I bring on, right? They're part of my team. They are part of my circle, meaning that we will find a way for us all to work together. So if it's not something that I specialize in, any of the guests that you see that I bring on, I have the relationship with them that we can invite them into the coaching experience so you can move past some of those things that otherwise we're not going to be able to do. So just know that anytime you see somebody, if you resonate with them, let me know and we will work on that. So without further ado, Kristen, I would love for you to share about what exactly is tapping. Explain what the process is for that. I'm going to stay on camera till you go into the actual demonstration. I'll back us up.
Yeah. Thank you, Carrie. So tapping is basically I call it acupuncture meets talk therapy. It's the best way to think about it. I like that. So for any of you that are familiar with acupuncture, Chinese medicine works on a system of meridian points. So we all have energy flowing through our body at all time. That's actually physics 101. It's a real thing. We have these energies. It's not woo at all. We do have energy that flows through our body. Everything has energy flowing through it. And so what Chinese medicine says is that you have these meridian points in the body that sometimes your energy gets stuck, right? So when you go to acupuncturists, they're putting the needles in to unstick your energy, basically. With tapping, you're actually tapping on the meridian, and I'm going to show you the tapping points in a minute, but just to give an example, you're actually tapping on the meridian points in the body, and you're not tapping on the whole body, just the upper body. And what you're doing in that moment is you're removing your body from a stress state to a relaxed state. Mm-hmm. And then where the talk therapy comes in is you're actually talking to your unconscious mind at the same time. Now, there's two different forms of tapping. When you're doing it with practitioner, we are leading you as the practitioner, which is really important for that healing and clearing work. You really kind of need some help with that. But there's also a lot of great tapping stuff out there. Nick Ortner is really good for anybody that's wanting to just Google. He has a lot of free tapping resources out there. They do. He'll teach you how to do like tapping on yourself. But it's the same thing. What's great about tapping is you can do it at any time on yourself, and you can move your body from that stress state to the relaxed state. So again, just really excited to be here with your group tonight, because I think that that's something that's so important. Like if you're really trying to quit drinking, for example, and you have these cravings that are coming up, and again, I'm going to show you some stuff here tonight, but you could start tapping. And what's cool is you can tap under the table and nobody even knows you're tapping, right? So if you're out at a restaurant, you're like, oh my God, I really want to have a martini because all my friends are having a martini. Start tapping. You can tap. Yeah. It's awesome. So that's really what the foundation of tapping is. And it's been around since the 80s. Actually, a lot of research on tapping, which is awesome. So we now know, like we have solid evidence and research that tapping is effective, especially for PTSD.
Yes.
A lot of us suffer from PTSD. Anybody that's had any trauma, right, in our lives, we suffer from PTSD, whether we realize it or not. It's extremely, extremely effective.
Well, I'm going to put the camera solely on you so you can go ahead and demonstrate. And I really encourage you, for those that are watching, if you have questions, please drop them in now. You got us real time. I can see them, and ask away, because this is such a gift that we have Kristen here today to help us through this. And I want you to really embrace it and see how it feels for you as we go through this demonstration. And again, if you are watching this on replay, go ahead and let us know it's on the replay. And that would be grateful, or we'd be grateful for you to do that. So without further ado, I'm going to put you on, and the screen is all yours.
Awesome. Thank you, Carrie. Okay, so first I want to walk you through your tapping points. Okay, because you need to know where to tap. Because as I guide you, you're actually going to have your eyes closed. You can leave your eyes open, but honestly, it's best to have them closed because you really want to be in that moment. And then I'm going to guide you through the points, so you don't have to remember them. There's no right or wrong way to tap. Let me just ease your mind. There's no right or wrong way to tap, because if you're anything like me and you're super type A, you're going to be like, no, I need all the points. Just know I'm going to show you them now visually, and then I'm going to talk you through the tapping, and you're going to close your eyes, and you're going to be tapping, and I'm going to actually tell you where to tap. So ease that mind, ease that mind. So we're going to start at the brow point. So the brow point is right above the brow, right here, right at the top of your brow. It's about, everything is about an inch up, and you can do one side, you can do both sides. You can do one finger, you can do two fingers. I tend to do the index and the pointer finger for these, for my tapping. Getting confused with the video. Okay, so this is top of the brow, and then we have side of the eye. So side of the eye is right where you, when you rub your temples at night when you're having a stressful day, that's where you're hitting right there. Believe it or not, we actually are tapping ourselves a lot, whether we realize it or not. So we tap right there on the side of the eye, and then we have under the eye, which is actually right here at the bottom of your bone, your occipital bone. So this is you're actually tapping on the bone right here. And you have under the nose. You have chin, which is actually this part of your chin, okay? Not all the way down, but right here. Now for these points, again, you can just one finger, two fingers, there's no wrong or right way. Then we have collarbone. So your collarbone, you have your collarbone right here, and then you're gonna go down just 1 inch, and you're gonna tap right there. And again, you could use one hand, two hands. I like two hands. It keeps me balanced. And then you go under the arm, and for ladies, it's your bra line right there. For guys, it's right below your pecs. So under the arm is actually the side of the body. You're tapping on the side of the body, and then top of the head. And again, you can use, scoot down, you can use one hand, two hands, it's up to you. And we're going to go through, and we're just going to start over again. Okay. So I do want to say a couple things. If you're driving, do not do this. Okay. I don't think I need to say that, but just so you know, because you are going to be in kind of a relaxed, you're going to be in a really relaxed state. So don't do this while you're driving. And I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to really give yourself this moment. So what we're going to do first is we're going to settle in. We're going to settle into our body. We're going to settle into this session. Okay. So I'm going to treat you just like I treat one of my clients. So I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And as you take another deep breath in, I just want you to let go of anything that was before and anything that's after. And I want you to settle into this space today. And as you breathe out, just release everything out of your body. And continue to breathe. And as you breathe in again, just think about all of your body just going into a relaxed state. Make sure that your feet are on the floor. Your hands are on your legs, relaxed, not folded, not crossed. And just keep breathing in and out. And we're going to move into our exercise now. So I want you to keep your eyes closed, and I want you to envision your favorite cocktail. Your favorite cocktail or beverage, alcoholic beverage. Maybe it's wine, maybe it's beer, maybe it's a margarita, martini. I want you to visualize that in your mind. And I want you to think about the aspects of that drink. What do you love about that drink? Is it the way it tastes in your mouth? Is it the smell? Is it the way it swirls? I know I was a big wine drinker. Is it the way it swirls in the glass? You're looking for the ruby red tones, right? Maybe you're a martini drinker and you love the way the olives taste in your martini. I want you to hold that vision in your mind, and I want you to almost imagine yourself putting that drink up to your lips, as if you're going to take a sip. And on a scale of 0 to 10, I want you to rate how much do you want to take that sip right now? How much do you want to have that drink right now? So a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being I want it right now, 0 being I'm good. I'm actually don't want this at all. Now, if you are on the lower end, just know that there's nothing wrong with that. That means that there's a different technique that would work better for you in this situation. But if you are above a 7, which is where we want you, a 7 or above, we want you right there. So if you are struggling to get to a 7, just keep thinking about that drink, the way it tastes, the way it smells, just visualizing that in your mind. And as you're keeping your eyes closed, I want you to think about the earliest memory that you have of yourself drinking that drink. It could be high school, could be college, it could be even earlier. And also, if you're struggling to think of a particular memory, it's okay. You also might have a memory of someone that was close to you, a caretaker, that you remember them having that drink. So in my case, I was very young. My mom used to drink a lot of wine. I can remember her having wine around the age of 7, 6 or 7, drinking her glass of wine with her friends. So hold one of those memories in your mind, whatever's the strongest, whether it's the one of your caretaker or someone you love or someone you respected having that drink and you were with them, or the memory of you actually having that drink for the first time. And I want you to just keep that memory there for a moment and think about how that memory makes you feel. Do you feel excited, happy? Does that memory put you in a really good space? Because we want to associate it with a memory that's really positive for you. Because believe it or not, cravings, which is what this is attached to really happy, positive memories in your life. So a lot of times we attach the thing, whether it's food or alcohol, to the memory as opposed to the thing being the thing and the memory being the memory. And so what we're doing right now is we're going to release that memory. And if you feel any resistance around that, it's okay, because your unconscious mind and your conscious mind will be fighting a little bit about this. It's okay. It's just ease your mind. It's okay. If you're someone that still likes to have a glass of wine every now and then, just know that you're not going to be able to have a glass of wine again. Okay. We're separating out the memory, the attachment to it. So what I want to do right now is I want you to think about all those positive memories that you have from this beverage. Everything that you could think of, like joy, happiness. I know for me, wine was a big thing that I would celebrate with friends. I have memories in college of just so much joy and happiness and acceptance from other women in my life that I didn't have up until that point. So maybe you felt accepted when you had this beverage. Maybe it's a memory of college, high school, whatever that memory is. So think about all those good feelings, all those incredible good feelings. And I want you to physically scoop them up with your hands, right? As your eyes are closed, scoop those up with your hands, scoop those memories up, 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 feeling them, feeling them, feeling them. Really, really at the same time thinking about how much you want that drink right now. And I want you to scoop those feelings up and I want you to actually place them in your heart center. And you can physically move your hands to your heart if you want. Just think about that right there. Think about all those good memories. Hold on to them. And I want you to think about all those good feelings forming this incredible ball of light above your head. It's going to move. This ball of light's going to start in your chest and it's going to move up, right? You have this incredible ball of light. And I'm going to ask you to start tapping now as I continue to help you visualize. So just follow the points with me. Keep your eyes closed. And we're going to actually tap through the points. So brow point, you want to tap about 5 to 7 times on each point. So brow point. So feel that ball of light in your chest. Side of the eye. And when you feel that ball of light, remember what that beverage tastes like. Under the eye. Taste it in your mind. Under the nose, and feel those good, warm feelings. Chin. And I want you to imagine the person that you're with right now. Collarbone. It could be one person. It could be more than one person. Under the arm. Think about that person or people you're with right now. And if there's more than one person, pick out the one that you feel the most connected to. Top of the head. And I want you to go ahead and I want you to pass that ball of light to that person. Top of the brow. and see their face light up as they receive that ball of light from you. Side of the eye, the pleasure and the joy that they feel receiving this ball from you. Under the eye, sharing all those good feelings with them. Under the nose, and now see them pass that ball of light back to you. Chin, keep tapping, you're doing a great job. And you're feeling those good feelings. Collarbone, sharing these feelings with your important person. Under the arm, and you're just seeing how happy they are to share these good feelings with you. Top of the head, so much joy and so much excitement to just be here with you. Top of the brow, how great they feel being here with you in this moment. Side of the eye, how much happiness and joy they feel. Under the eye, and I want you to keep tasting that beverage in your mind. Under the nose, keep tasting how great that beverage would feel right now. Chin, feeling all those good feelings. Collarbone, and passing them from your heart to their heart. Under the arm, from their heart to your heart. Top of the head, notice how good they feel to share this with you. Top of the brow, you're just seeing the light of love in their eyes. Side of the eye, just the complete joy on their face. Under the eyes, just feeling all those good feelings. Under the nose, sharing this beautiful, beautiful moment with you. Under the nose, passing that ball back and forth and back and forth. Collarbone, from your heart to their heart. Under the arm, from their heart to your heart. Top of the head, back and forth. Okay, and I want you to take a nice deep breath in and out. Now, Carrie, here's where I need your help. I'd love for everyone to comment what came up for you. And I want you to think about where you are right now on the scale of 0 to 10. How much do you want that drink right now? So I'd love to hear everybody's comments.
So I am seeing, let's see. Liz was driving, so she wasn't able to do it. But she did say that she loves working with you and that this has really helped her. And yeah, Liz is so sweet. And Allison is here, and Christopher is here, and Rob is here, and Michelle is here. So if anybody wants to comment, if you had experienced that, I will tell you something interesting for me. So wine was my jam, no secret, but that's not what I wanted. Actually, it's so bizarre. Like I really wanted a vodka martini, which is something I don't drive. I mean, I don't drink. And normally, I mean, once in a blue moon, like I'd have a sip of Rob's and all of a sudden I wanted it. And so I brought it up to my lips and I could almost taste it. And then going through the exercise, knowing that that's Rob's favorite thing, and then sharing that love with him because I know he misses those martinis, and just sharing that experience with him of passing the light back and forth and open up the heart center. Yeah, I'm good. I mean, it literally just all melted away for me. And it's funny because like, it's so bizarre how we have a specific taste for something. Like, because I was such a big red wine drinker, initially I was like, oh, Caymus. Like Caymus is my favorite wine ever. And I was like, oh, of course I want Caymus. But then I was like, actually, no, I don't even want it. So when you said that, like if you're less than a 7, I'm like, yeah, I kind of don't want it. And then I was like, I kind of want a vodka martini right now. So it was interesting how that shifted for me. And then now I'm just so grateful and it went away.
You know, Carrie, that's interesting. So the unconscious mind is going to bring up what it wants to heal, which is interesting in this this exercise, all kinds of things come up. And it sounds to me like you're actually craving something you're not getting right now in your marriage. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. It sounds like it's connection for you right now, which makes sense. Your husband's been gone, right? So, so things will come up like that sometimes, and it's really not a reflection of the actual drink itself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's why this work is really powerful, because we don't have time tonight to do like a full session, right? This is really just a little inkling of what I do, because what will happen is aspects will come up. So normally I would take you now through some tapping on whatever came up for you, because isn't that interesting? Whatever's going to come up. For you. And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
I want to share that Allison said, I was similar, thought I would want wine, but thought of rum and Coke. So Allison, she was a 7 and now a 2. How did that happen?
Right. Yes.
That's really cool. Yeah.
So I would ask Allison, was there a specific memory that came up for her then?
Yeah.
That she was tapping on with a specific person?
Yeah, Allison, you can comment if you want. Was there somebody specific and a specific memory? That's really interesting. And while she's going to comment, because I think there's a delay, and John Grillo's here as well. Yes, she said, yes, celebrating my mom's retirement.
Yes. Okay, so there you go. So what happens is your brain puts things together. They lump them together because it's just easier a lot of times. So, for example, the rum and Coke, she's celebrating her mom's retirement. She's drinking it. It's great memory. It's happy memory. So the brain is put together, okay, celebration and rum and Coke go together in the same file cabinet. Mm-hmm. So what this technique does, and there's many, many, many techniques, by the way, guys, this is just one. What this technique does is it separates the filing cabinets. So it's telling the brain, you can still have that same feeling of celebration and joy and excitement over your mom retiring without having to have that rum and Coke. So I know for me, I was using that example of, I really felt very unaccepted most of my childhood by other women, by girls. I was always a tomboy. And so I have these memories of wine, like in college, and really enjoying wine and being so accepted with the female community and laughing and you being, just joy and laughter and excitement. So I found remember I told you the story, right? I was drinking 4 bottles of wine a week back in the day. It was really because at that time, my husband was working a job where he wasn't getting home till midnight. I was with 3 small children every day. I was feeling very alone. I was feeling very isolated. And I just wanted to feel that excitement and acceptance and joy of hanging out with my girls. And so the wine was that's what my brain was trying to find. It was trying to find that same feeling in a bottle of wine, which we know is never going to happen. But we have to train the unconscious mind to let go of that memory.
Gosh, that is so crazy because I'm really missing my husband. So it's funny that I would want that, the vodka martini. Like I said, it's not even something that I drank. I mean, once in a while I might take a sip of his if it was super cold and I'd be like, yeah, it's good. It's never like really my jam, but for whatever reason, that is what I wanted. And I am really missing him. He was supposed to come home today and he's not now till Friday. So my heart is broken, but he'll be back.
Yes.
So, yeah. And for those of you that don't know, Rob is visiting with his father at the hospital. So that's where he's at. But anyway, he said, I missed you too. I guess he's watching. It comes up on our end, just Facebook user, but I see it's Rob on my phone. So, but anyhow, that was amazing. Amazing. So Kristen, I know we have your links in the original post from Monday, but because this is on video and this will go on YouTube and everything, why don't you share verbally where we can find you? And if somebody wanted to work with you and have sessions, how does that work? You want to explain that? You don't have to talk about pricing, but talk about like how many sessions it normally takes, what it looks like, and whatever you want to share.
Yeah, thank you so much, Carrie. So you can find me on my websites, allthingshealthy.org, not .com, .org. And then I'm on Facebook, All Things Healthy by Kristen, and All Things Healthy by Kristen on Instagram as well. But the best thing to do is reach out to me and schedule a call with me. So for specific tapping, first of all, I always do a free clarity call for you. So it's a 30-minute call. We get on, we talk about what it is that you're really looking to achieve, whether it's in your health, whether it's in your business, what's that next level for you, where you want to go. It's a great call to do. And we do some work on there. It's not like one of those free calls where nothing happens. You actually get some work done and you walk away with some awesome measurable action steps to move forward with. So just so you know that. And then from there, what we'll determine is what is the best course? Is it just tapping? Is it tapping and coaching? You know, and so with tapping in particular, what I do is I always offer a tapping session, and try one session, because it's not for everybody. It may not resonate with you, and it's okay if it doesn't. It's just one of many modalities. But for me personally and for my clients, they'll tell you it's one of the best ones that you can find to really get the clearing, the healing work done. So we do one session. And if you feel like you want to move forward, which everybody does, then I do a 6-session package. And I'm not telling you that everything will happen in 6 sessions necessarily, but it's a really, really great place to start. And then I allow you to tell me what we need to work on next, or if you're feeling good or whatever. So 6 sessions, just a great place to start, and you're going to see some change and see some growth in your life, and you're going to move from surviving to thriving, at least one area of your life after 6 sessions. So,
and how long are the sessions?
They're usually about an hour,
Okay.
60 minutes. Yep. If you're somebody that has a lot of trauma, and I do trauma work as well, those sessions can go longer. Those can go anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes. But I try to stick to an hour because I want to honor your time and my time. But I also want to follow the feelings and follow the emotions that are coming up. So,
yes. Well, as I alluded to, if you're just jumping on and you're catching the end of our time together here, I announced that I will be working with Kristen with tapping. I'm very excited about it. And there are some things, listen, we all have our stuff, right? We just all have our stuff, even as a mindset coach that I am today. And I've worked very hard to get to where I am currently, but I still have some more to go. And I think we never, ever quite make it to where we want to be. It's an ever process, and it's not about perfection. It's about how much better can we get, how much can we get better, and how farther can we go, and how much farther can we level up, and how much can we clear and break free of some of those things that are binding us. And most of you know, I've had quite the story. I've been very vocal about it. I've written blogs about it. I've shared my story, even my childhood stuff. So I have quite a bit to heal from. And I think this is my next step. I've done somatic breathing. I've done energy healing. I've done deep core work. I've worked with many coaches. I have done a lot. And this is just one more layer that I'm wanting to do. So I invite you, if this interests you, to reach out to Kristen and see how the two of you might be able to work together if that is something that this resonates with you. And again, it's not for everybody, and that's okay. That's okay. There's so many options available to us. So reach out if you want to. And without further ado, we'll go ahead and end our time together. This will be on YouTube if you want to share it on Gray Tonic's YouTube channel. And we just ask that you share this with others and that you think about how this could work in your life. And we just thank you. Thank you for showing up tonight. Thank you for spending time with us. And I love you guys. I will see you next week. Until then, take care.
bye.
Bye.